Our top story, after a decade representing Savannah at the state capitol, Representative Carl Gilliard is stepping away from politics. He is opening up to WSAV about family, purpose, and the legacy he hopes to leave behind. WSAV's Nikaya Harris joining us now with a closer look at this decision.
Now, Ben, after 10 years of serving at the state capitol, Representative Carl Gilliard says the decision to step away wasn't about politics, but about purpose, family, and coming home. In a one-on-one interview, he reflects on his legislative legacy and the people who shaped his political career.
Done the work. I felt it's time to come home.
For the past 10 years, State Representative Carl Gilliard has served District 162, representing parts of Savannah and Chatham County under the Gold Dome.
I spent 10 years of my life away from family and all the above. Missing your family is a big part of coming back home, but I wouldn't change anything in reference to the journey because everything taught me how to get better.
Often labeled as the James Brown of the General Assembly and one of the hardest working legislators in Georgia, Gilliard has authored more legislation than any Democrat over the last 3 sessions. Gilliard says many of the bills he helped become law were inspired by tragic events experienced by his constituents.
The blind bill was a bill, House Bill 79, to give parents that are blind the right to parent. That was a powerful bill that represents 202,000 people. When Ahmaud Arbery was unfortunately killed, they said citizen arrest was the reason why. I wrote the bill, House Bill 45, later turned House Bill 479, to repeal Georgia's citizen arrest law.
Representative Gilliard says the theme, "What the People Say," has driven much of his work, keeping him close to the concerns of everyday Georgians.
I was always reminded that the boots on the ground, the people on the ground, always kept me plugged in. The minimum wage in Georgia is $5.15. The struggles, the table issues. And I always kept them engaged. I brought the state to Savannah many times.
From criminal justice reform to economic access, Gilliard says staying connected to his district was always a priority. Now, as he steps into a new chapter, Gilliard says his focus is shifting back home.
The next chapter of my life, I just want to do what God calls me to do. And I believe God has called me back home to Savannah.
And as he passes the baton, Gilliard says his message to future leaders is simple. Public service is about people, not position. Nikaya Harris, WSAV News 3, on your side.
Nikaya, thank you. Some new developments now. The Chatham County Sheriff's Office has made another arrest in connection with a viral aggravated assault that shocked the Pooler community. The Sheriff's Office says 37-year-old Jimmy Alexander Jr. is the third person arrested for the assault caught on camera. Investigators say Alexander was the one recording, later posting it to social media. He now faces multiple charges, including aggravated assault, battery on a pregnant woman, and violation of a protective order. This comes after 2 other arrests connected to the case. 26-year-old Ronnie Scott Jr., 34-year-old Montreon Williams. Williams is accused of being the organizer of the fight. It happened back in 2024, actually. Both men also now face aggravated assault charges. A Bullitt County murder suspect who authorities say gouged out his own eyes while in custody has now been ruled competent to stand trial. Court records show Robert Keller underwent a mental evaluation after seriously hurting himself while behind bars. Investigators say the incident raised immediate questions about his mental state and whether he was fit to face trial. However, after reviewing medical and psychological findings, a judge ruled that Keller does understand the charges against him and is able to assist in his own defense. A trial date has not yet been set. A deadly train accident in Wayne County is under investigation after a pedestrian was struck early this morning in Jessup. State troopers say they were called to the scene around 5:44 this morning near Northwest Broad Street and Pine. Investigators say the train conductor reported seeing a person cross the tracks before walking directly toward the train. Authorities say the victim has not yet been identified. The investigation into exactly what happened is still underway. Savannah police are asking for the public's help in identifying 2 suspects connected to a theft and financial fraud that happened on February 8th in the 7000 block of Abercorn Street. So these photos here they provided. If you recognize these 2 people, you can call Crime Stoppers and remain anonymous at 912-234-2020. A Lowcountry magistrate judge will be on the other side of the witness stand when he goes on trial for driving under the influence next month. Judge Thomas Holloway was arrested back in October after getting into an accident on Sea Island Parkway. It turned out that he was over the legal limit while behind the wheel, according to officers. Another judge determined at a hearing this week that Holloway will face a jury himself. His trial will begin April 27th. The father of a Georgia college student killed on campus by an illegal immigrant is now taking legal action, claiming her death could have been prevented. The father of Laken Riley has filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the University System of Georgia Board of Regents. Riley, a 22-year-old nursing student, was killed in February 2024 on campus at UGA. Prosecutors say Jose Ibarra attacked and killed her while she was out for a morning run. A lawsuit claims that university officials failed to warn students after Ibarra was seen acting suspiciously over an hour before the attack, including trying to enter an on-campus apartment. The suit also claims a property management company failed to properly screen tenants, allowing Ibarra to live near campus. Riley's father is seeking a jury trial along with compensatory and punitive damages. News around South Carolina now. A bill that would force local law enforcement to work with ICE and even become immigration enforcement officers is drawing anger and opposition in the Palmetto State.
Our local law enforcement should focus on protecting everyone and not singling out anyone or only protect certain people.
Those opposing House Bill 4764 spoke out at the State House. The proposed bill would require every agency that operates a jail or correctional facility to sign an agreement to cooperate with ICE. It would expand the existing 287G program, providing additional training and greater authority to local officers to enforce federal immigration law.
We have seen masked, militarized deportation agents that are forcing people into unmarked cars. Community members fear that local police are among them, leading to broad mistrust and avoidance of law enforcement. No one calls the police for help when they show up this way.
The bill is in subcommittee right now. It was not voted on during the last session. More than 100 people attended that session to oppose the legislation. The father of a Georgia teenager accused in a deadly school shooting testified today, saying he gave his son the rifle used in the attack as a Christmas gift. Colin Gray faces 55 counts, including 4 murders and 25 counts of aggravated assault, after prosecutors say he carefully planned the school shooting that left 2 teachers and 2 students dead and several others wounded. This is Appalachia High School here. His father, Colin Gray, faces 29 counts, including involuntary manslaughter and second-degree murder. Prosecutors also played surveillance video showing Colt carrying the rifle onto his school bus the morning of the attack. Prosecutors are arguing that Colin Gray should be held responsible for giving his son access to the rifle despite the warning signs. The case joins a growing number of trials around the nation seeking accountability from parents after deadly school shootings. This trial is expected to continue next week. Starting tomorrow, South Carolina drivers will face new consequences for using their phones behind the wheel. As WSAV's Danielle Cobb reports, law enforcement says this move is aimed at curbing distracted driving, which they call a leading cause of accidents.
Yeah, I'm driving, but I can go ahead and text that address over to you. All right, bye. Many of us can't operate without a phone in our hands or at least on our person. But that example I just showed you of a typical text and phone call interaction behind the wheel will now come with penalties.
When we talk about hands-free, we talk about limiting distractions.
Starting tomorrow, that distraction, getting caught with the phone in your hand, pressed to your ear or on your lap while operating a vehicle, can land you a ticket and a $100 fine.
If you can have it set up hands-free, have that set up, and just not use your phone at all during your commute.
The law comes after Highway Patrolman Nicholas Pye says they've seen an increase in distracted driving. It's one of 3 main causes for collisions in the state.
The stuff that we see on our roadways, most of the time is preventable.
They're seeing it all from texting, calling, social media scrolling.
We also see a rise in people that are FaceTiming as you're driving down the road, which you can't do. We see a rise in people going down the road and watching streaming services.
The law doesn't apply if you're legally parked or legally stopped at a red light or stop sign. Law enforcement understands phones are great tools for navigation and communication, but they say technology like CarPlay or Bluetooth voice command will help keep your eyes on the road.
We have to understand that, we can't do this alone. And when I say we, I mean law enforcement. We have to have the motoring public's help to say, hey, I'm going to do the right thing.
Tickets will start being issued starting tomorrow, Saturday, the 28th. Danielle Cobb, WSAV News 3, on your side.